Hello, welcome back to the Southern Bible Thumper channel. For this upload, we will be reading Numbers chapter 28. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, My offering and my bread for my sacrifices made by fire, for a sweet savour unto me, shall ye observe to offer unto me in their due season. And thou shalt say unto them, This is the offering made by fire, which ye shall offer unto the Lord. 2 lambs of the first year without spot, day by day, for a continual burnt offering. The one lamb shalt thou offer in the morning, and the other lamb shalt thou offer at even, and a tenth part of an ephah of flour for a meat offering, mingled with the fourth part of an hin of beaten oil. It is a continual burnt offering, which was ordained in Mount Sinai for a sweet savour, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. And the drink offering thereof shall be the fourth part of an hin for the one lamb. In the holy place shalt thou cause the strong wine to be poured unto the Lord for a drink offering. And the other lamb shalt thou offer at even, as the meat offering of the morning, and as the drink offering thereof. Thou shalt offer it, as sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savour unto the Lord. And on the Sabbath day 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2 tenth deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, and the drink offering thereof. This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath, beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. And in the beginnings of your months ye shall offer a burnt offering unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without spot, and 3 tenth deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, for 1 bullock, and 2 tenth deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled in oil, for 1 ram, and a several tenth deal of flour mingled with oil for a meat offering unto 1 lamb, for a burnt offering of a sweet savour, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. And their drink offering shall be half an hin of wine unto a bullock, and the third part of an hin unto a ram, and a fourth part of an hin unto a lamb. This is the burnt offering of every month throughout the months of the year. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering unto the Lord shall be offered, beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. And in the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of the Lord, and in the 15th day of this month is the feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. In the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no manner of servile work therein, but ye shall offer a sacrifice made by fire for a burnt offering unto the Lord. 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil. 3 tenth deals shall ye offer for a bullock, and 2 tenth deals for a ram. A several tenth deal shalt thou offer for every lamb throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 goat for a sin offering to make an atonement for you. Ye shall offer these beside the burnt offering in the morning, which is for a continual burnt offering. After this manner ye shall offer daily, throughout the 7 days, the meat of the sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savour unto the Lord. It shall be offered beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. And on the 7th day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. Also, in the day of the firstfruits, when ye bring a new meat offering unto the Lord, after your weeks be out, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work, but ye shall offer the burnt offering for a sweet savour unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year, and their meat offering of flour mingled with oil, 3 tenth deals unto 1 bullock, 2 tenth deals unto 1 ram, a several tenth deal unto 1 lamb, throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 kid of the goats, to make an atonement for you. Ye shall offer them beside the continual burnt offering and his meat offering. They shall be unto you without blemish, and their drink offerings. Summarizing Numbers chapter 28. Just to make this short, in verse 3, God commands Israel to make a continual burnt offering, one in the morning and one in the evening. That's in verse 3. Verse 9, God commands Israel to honor the Sabbath. Verse 11, God commands Israel to celebrate the beginning of months every month. In verse 16, God requires the Israelites to observe the 14th day of the first month. This is honoring the Passover. And then the 15th through the 22nd, that's the 7-day unleavened bread feast. Then we have verse 26, the day of first fruits. The reason why these laws are important and why we're taking so long in this chapter is because Israel is a group of previously enslaved people. Their only connection to any society is as a slave. In order to honor God's commands, they have to have their own society because when we look in the book of Exodus, when Moses requested 3 days to honor God, for Israel to honor God away from Egypt, he would not allow them to go. And in societies where slavery is what builds a country, religious autonomy becomes infringed on. The only way that God can help these people have any sense of normalcy in their life and to honor God's commands, God has to give them their own territory, their own society. If they were to stay under rulership in Egypt and integrate with them, Egypt would never divide their resources fairly. Egypt will never give them fair jobs and fair opportunities because when we saw in Exodus chapter 1, when Egypt gave jobs to Israelites, the first job that they gave was the 2 Hebrew women who were midwives sent to Hebrew women to kill their male children as soon as they were born. Those are the only types of jobs previously enslaved people are going to get in a society when the people who enslaved them are still in their society. They can't integrate and ever expect fairness. So God saw that. God remembered his promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and said, I have a land that I'm going to bring them to. We have been reading for over 140 pages about Moses in the desert. The first thing God had to do was deliver them out of Egypt, isolate them so they could experience a sense of freedom, a sense of independence. God had them go through a few things together so that they built camaraderie. He had them build a tabernacle. He gave them laws and culture. He humanized them when they were slaves because the most important thing that previously enslaved people need to function, because we have to remember Israel was enslaved for over 400 years. And so they're just out. They're delivered from Egypt, but they have no money. Well, they have some money that was borrowed, but this wasn't enough to buy a home. This wasn't enough to everyone to have a good quality of life because, again, their only claim to the land is as a slave, and a slave doesn't have a claim to anything, not even their own bodies. And when we saw Jacob, when he married Leah, he was tricked into marrying all those women. But we saw when he married Leah, Leah's father gave him a female servant so that Jacob could have both women. And that was how slaves were treated. They didn't have autonomy over their own bodies. They had to just do whatever. That's why when God gave commands about slavery, he said there was a set time. A person couldn't be relegated to a permanent underclass. And the reason why, well, God did not abolish slavery. The Bible does not say why he didn't abolish slavery. I personally believe it's because humans keep bringing slavery into everything. Even when the Israelites were delivered from Egypt, they still had slaves that God had to give them commandments of how to treat them. So previously enslaved people tend to have church or some religious organization or some connection to God because they don't have any other order. They're not connected to any society. They're not connected to any rulership. So God becomes uh, it becomes something that people cling to when they don't have order. Um, Israel doesn't even have laws. They truly are a slave class. So we also need to point out that God didn't give Israel favor over Egypt to, war with them and take over their resources. God gave them their own land and wanted them to be their own society. So previously enslaved people, they need specialized intervention in order to be able to participate economically. There is no other answer. So if previously enslaved people don't have the government to help them because the government that they were living under would not budge on giving them any better rights, they couldn't even leave to go honor God for 3 days. So what the Israelites did, they had to have a relationship with God. These previously enslaved people, that was the only way they were going to get a territory to themselves where they can have control over their work laws, control over their lives, control over their resources. So that's all I have. I just really want to emphasize the pattern of previously enslaved people, their connection to church, the options that they have. They don't have many options but to commit crime. The definition of crime changes when you're a slave because if you're a slave, not being a slave is a crime. So you have no choice but to be a criminal. But we already know in societies, law is motivated and changed by money. You know, it's murder when one person do it. It's affluenza when someone else does it. Cocaine is a less severe charge than crack. That also influences the statistics, but I don't even believe any of these statistics anymore. All right, well, that was Numbers chapter 28. The next upload will be Numbers 29. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.